Hello stock gurus and welcome to another episode. Today we're going to hit 38,000 subscribers, which is 38,000 investors, which is amazing. Big congratulations everyone. The channel is only about, I think now 10 months old. Or 9 months old, so amazing growth, nearly 40,000 subscribers, investors in just 9 months. This channel is growing so quick. Today we're going to be looking at Wells Fargo. I'm going to do a technical analysis on Wells Fargo. I'm going to look at what's going to happen on the technicals for the next few months, the next few weeks, and for today's trading day, Thursday, the 4th of March, what will happen to the price of Wells Fargo. I have exact price targets for the long term and for today's trading day for Wells Fargo, so make sure to watch through the end of the video to see those exact price targets. Then we're going to go into the fundamental analysis of Wells Fargo. We're going to look at the news on Twitter, any major news that's coming out for Wells Fargo. Then we're going to look at the financials for Wells Fargo. And the reasons I really like Wells Fargo are the financials. And you're going to see why in this video. I'm going to show you their revenues and their profit margins. Their profit margins are unbelievably stellar. And we're going to see that in the video and why I really like Wells Fargo. Everything you're about to see in this video, I've created a course that will teach you this. It's called the Stock Guru Master Course. It's been taken by tens of thousands of students. It's going to teach you everything you're going to see here. If you've been losing money in the stock market, if you're not sure about brokers, the best brokers for you, or how to buy stocks, or how to make money in the stock market, the Stock Guru Master Course is going to teach you all that. You can see the link in the description or the pinned comment, or by going to www.stockguru.us. And if you purchase the Stock Guru Master Course before the 8th, I think it's the 8th. Sorry, yes, before the 8th, Tuesday, 8 p.m. New York time, I'm going to announce the winner of 1,000 USD. So if you purchase Stock Guru Master Course in the next 4 or 5 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD, which is going to be beautiful. I want to also say a big congratulations to all stock gurus who were buying Bitcoin at $9,000 when I made those videos in August. Bitcoin is now hitting 51,000. Unity is still at $100, so still doubled since the IPO. It did have a large drop, and I am very interested in Unity at the moment. The tech sector has been having a big sell-off, so I made a video on that today. How far is this tech sector going to drop? We're at a very, very important moment, so make sure you watch that video. Also, to see here you can see just many reviews of the Stock Guru Master Course and my students' experience of it. I've made many millionaires, many multimillionaires, so I highly recommend you take the Stock Guru Master Course to understand everything you're about to see in this video. So let's jump into the technical analysis for Wells Fargo now. So now we're jumping into the technicals for Wells Fargo. This is my watch list of companies that I'm watching, that the stock gurus have been following. We had quite a red day in the market yesterday as well. It seems like the market is moving back towards the COVID shutdown stocks. So it seems to be moving out of the tech sector and moving into the COVID shutdown stocks. That's what seemed to happen in the last few trading days, when a lot of the tech companies sold off. As you can see here, 18% on Fubo, up 6% in pre-market now. So it dropped on its earnings report, then had a recovery in pre-market. Fiverr down 13%, Etsy down 12%, no recovery in pre-market. PlugUp down 10%, BNGO 10%, MVIS 10%. If you've been following MVIS for a long time, we were buying this at $2.50 in August when I made those videos. GSAT was down 8%, then big recovery in pre-market, up 5.8%. But most of the tech sector was down, as you can see, across the board yesterday. 5% Airbnb, 5% Netflix, 4.9% Unity, 4.8% Tesla, 4% NIO. And then the ones that had actually gains were the recovery stocks. So we have American Airlines, Uber, Pfizer, Boeing. So I'm going to do, and Wells Fargo, I'm going to do a recovery stock day today. Today we're going to be looking at the technicals for Wells Fargo, and then I'm going to also make a video on Boeing today. And on Tesla and NIO, just the technicals. So this is Wells Fargo over time. So we're looking at the entire history of Wells Fargo over time. This is the price movement of Wells Fargo that you're seeing over time. If you're looking at these charts and you're panicking and it seems overwhelming, it's okay. Just stop, take a deep breath, and just relaxation into your body. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I've taught tens of thousands of students how to do this. An entire stadium of people is watching me every day. 38,000 subscribers, 38,000 investors we hit today, which is absolutely amazing. Wells Fargo is the company, monthly candlesticks, and this is movement over time. Now, I am going to go relatively quickly, but everything you're going to see here, you learn how to do in the Stock Guru Master Course. If you've been losing money in the stock market, if you've been seeing a lot of people making gains in Bitcoin and stocks and you want to join in, but you're feeling worried about it, or if you're not just sure and you want to start jumping in, I've created a course that's going to teach you everything you're about to see here and much more. It's the Stock Guru Master Course. You can see it in the link, in the description, in the pinned comment. or www.stockguru.us to the Stockguru Master Course. It's lifetime access to the course, and I highly recommend to actually understand everything you're about to see here. It's an 8-lesson course that you can watch in your own time. And if you purchase the Stockguru Master Course before this 8th of March, you go in the chance, so in the next 6 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. So make sure you jump on that. I'll announce the winner on Tuesday night lives at 8 p.m. I go live in the Eagle's Nest. I have a mountain in my house. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Tuesdays and Saturday nights, 8 p.m. New York time, I go live. But on Tuesday nights, I'm going to pick the winner of 1,000 USD, which is going to be beautiful. So this is Wells Fargo, the company, monthly candlesticks, its price movement over time. This is us looking at Wells Fargo going back to it's old. This company goes back IPOing in 1968. Wells Fargo, the bank, IPOing in 1968. It was at $1.18. Now it's at $37. So in a 62 year, what is that? That's 1968 is 50 years plus 3 years, 53-year period. It's only gone up 35 times, 35x in a 53-year period, which is not so bad, but not amazing. It's around 80% a year. The overall trend of Wells Fargo is massively trending up. Wells Fargo it went from $78 back in when it IPO'd, or even less. It IPO'd at $1.40, but then actually dropped to 74 cents. So it's gone up, I guess, since that around that time by around 70 times. But that's at the current price. At its height, it went from 70 cents all the way up to $37, came crashing back down during the global financial crisis to a low of, $17? $7, a low during GFC. And then big recovery play from GFC from 2008 all the way to 2019 to a high of 70. And then before COVID, it was actually dropping and then came up close to 58. And then because of COVID, massive drop from $58 down to this $20 trend line. That was a great buying opportunity. Since then, it's gone up nearly 100% to $37.69. I'm using very specific indicators to get this technical analysis, to do this charting. I'm using tradingview.com, and I'm using RSI, stochastic, squeeze mob indicators. These ones here, I'm using volume. I'm using support lines, resistance lines, and these blue trend lines. I'm also using MA cross now, but I'm only just trialing it out for a while. Everything you see here, how to set up your charts exactly as you're seeing here to follow along and to do this while you're watching me. And you'll also learn the best brokers for you, the buttons and settings to press in your brokerage account to buy stocks, technical analysis, how to set up your charts and follow along. You learn in the Stock Guru Master Course. Again, the link is in the description, the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us. And again, if you purchase it before before Tuesday, 8 p.m. New York time, I think it's the 8th of March, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. So if you purchase it in the next, in days? The next 4 working days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. Just like I did on Christmas, just like I did on New Year's, and just like I did on the 1st of February, you go in, and then last week also. So it's kind of, you're purchasing the course. One of the students is going to get my knowledge, and they're going to learn, they're going to have capital to start investing in the market. So Squeeze Mob has been red pretty much since 2019, and now it looks like it's trying to turn green. Stochastic and RSI, the way these work, when they're below the dotted lines, this company is undervalued. Above the dotted lines, this company is overvalued. So Wells Fargo, after COVID, was very undervalued, and it stayed undervalued for a while, hitting that low of $20. And now it's turned to head up. The stochastic, the RSI, and volume is coming in. Volume predicts price. What is volume? If you were to sell me your Wells Fargo shares and I was to buy them from you, that's a trade. Trading is volume. The more trading that's happening, the more volume, the more interest there is in this company. So Wells Fargo was pretty much, it's been on this trend line for a very, very long time. I would say even since 1990. It's been on this trend line. Then it went on this parabolic up on this trend line. Then during GFC came back to the main trend line, then recovery back onto its parabolic, and now because of COVID, back onto its main trend line again. So really, this seems to be its main trend line, even though it has trying to get back into the parabolic. But it's really trying to get up there back into its parabolic line. It's trying to get back up onto this this trend line that was following. So everything to me is looking like it's climbing. Volume coming in, Squeeze Mob going green, stochastic oversold, turning below the dotted lines, it's a good buying opportunity. Above the dotted lines, you need to dollar cost average over a longer period of time. DCA, as I teach my students, dollar cost average. What that means, it means splitting up your capital every month. So these are monthly candlesticks. Splitting up your capital, investing every month. So you dollar cost averaging. So volume coming in, volume predicts price. Overall trend of Wells Fargo massively trending up. The trend is your friend. Who's your best friend? It's the trend. And you never go against your best friend, the trend. And it is massively trending up. Even with these huge drops, global financial crisis, COVID, the overall trend of Wells Fargo massively trending up. So Squeeze Mob going green, Stochastic turning up, RSI turning up, not yet overbought, huge volume coming in. And it looks like we're going up. We hit this first target, this previous resistance, it broke through it. And now the next target for Wells Fargo to get to is, the next resistance will be here, is the next horizontal resistance, a main resistance line at the $43 mark. So that looks like where Wells Fargo is headed next. After that, we have another resistance up here. And it looks like the banking sector and the recovery stocks, the COVID lockdown stocks are recovering. They're trying to come back strong. And the tech sector was selling off. So that's kind of a good sign. So Stochastic heading up, RSI heading up, Squeeze Mob going green, volume coming in. First target for in the long term going to 2022, 2023 for Wells Fargo is $43.26. And then target after that is $50.65. And then the next one will be getting back onto its just before the COVID damage, getting back to here. It was at before that March COVID pandemic. Even before that, in December, it actually dropped and then COVID hit. So to get back above COVID level, it was actually just here at the $42 mark. So we're very close to that. That's that big resistance. It's very close to getting back to where it was before COVID. It was actually dropping before COVID pandemic actually happened. But the target's $43, $50, and $59 going into 2023. Now we zoom into Wells Fargo, and we also can turn on MA Cross. And as you can see here, we had an the MA Cross is amazing for Wells Fargo. Look at that. We had a moving average cross here. It opened to head down. The red line went below the green line, indicating we're coming down. And since then, it just massively fell. That was a beautiful indicator, that MA Cross, at the 50, I think it was at the $55 mark. That indicated from 55 a fall all the way down to $20. So that was a great indicator, this MA cross. And it has not yet, it's trying to cross soon, but it has not yet crossed the MA to head back up. But everything to me showing, indicating back up in the long term. Squeeze Mob green, Stochastic oversold, RSI oversold, heading up, lots of volume coming in. Target 1, $43.26, target 2, $50.65, target 3, $59.09 going into the next 2 years. Now we click down here, we click on 1 year, and now we're going to see what's going to happen to Wells Fargo going into the next few months. So what is happening to Wells Fargo going into March, April, May of this year? Okay, everyone, just a reminder, stay hydrated. Let's have a hydration break. So, on Wells Fargo, what are we seeing? We're seeing that it held very strongly on this support line here at the 21, 22. It hit it during June. It came it went further down than March pandemic. It went down lower to the 20 on June, recovered, then came crashing back down to around this November. It was at that low again, bouncing off that support, and then big recovery since November 5th. It's gone from $21 all the way up to $38, so nearly 100% since November on that recovery, which is beautiful. The volume on Wells Fargo is quite huge at the moment. Huge amounts of volume since 2020, and it's been consistent. The volume was low, then 2020 pandemic, and then volume spiked up, and huge amounts of volume coming in. And recently, a lot of spike up in volume also. We had an MA cross here to head up in November, and that called that massive movement from $20 all the way to 37. So amazing. We had an MA cross there moving up. Then we had a cross here to go down, but then it recrossed to go up just recently. The last 1 week, it crossed to head back up, so indicating we're going up more. Squeeze Mob is still green. Stochastic and RSI, when they're above the dotted lines, it means this company is overvalued. Below the dotted lines, undervalued. When it's above the dotted lines, dollar cost average, DCA, over a longer period of time. So right now, Wells Fargo is still, it's close to the overvalued, above the dotted lines, but not really. The RSI is below the dotted lines, Stochastic above it, but they're both turning to head up further. The RSI is turning to head up further. We have a big increase in volume. We have Squeeze Mob going green. We have the MA cross open and heading up. All indications still that we're going up for Wells Fargo going into the next few weeks. And I don't have any real resistance. There's no major resistance here. There is quite a little bit of one there. When it tried to fall back in the COVID pandemic during March, there was a place where it found support. See how when it fell here at 37, it found support here for a few days and then went from 37 and dropped further down. So this was a support there at that point. So when it comes back up, that's going to be a resistance that has to break through. So these are our targets for Wells Fargo. So as it comes up, stochastic turning up, RSI turning up, squeeze mob going green, volume coming in. Target 1 for Wells Fargo, $39.78. Target 2 is $43.26 going to March and April. It is following this kind of parabolic line. Since that MA cross, it's been following up this parabolic line. And these are still in place. So going to March, first target $39.78, $43.26. And then the longer target, $50.65 going to May and June. There is also one resistance here, a strong one, that will have to break through in the future. So we'll move that target, that 65 cents, to here just to, so those are better targets, I would say. Going to the next few months, going to March, April, May, June. Target 1, $39.78. Target 2, $43. Target 3, $46.71. So that's T1, T2 for the next few months, and T3, $46.74. As Wells Fargo makes its recovery. To me, it won't be just straight up like that. It's more likely going to do something like this. And it has another big resistance here, actually. So we should put that big resistance in, because it will need to break that too to get that high at 54. So those are the targets going into the next few months. To me, more than likely, it will do something like that to get there. So target 1, $39.78. Target 2, $43. Target 3, $46.74, which is beautiful. Overall trend of Wells Fargo. Now the trend, has it changed? On the daily, I guess it would have changed. If you look, if we look at just the last few, since the beginning of 2020, after that fall, the overall trend now is, it found bottom here, and the trend has changed to start heading up. The trend is your friend, and now it is trending up. So let's go closer now, 3 months onto Wells Fargo. We click down here, and now we're going to see what's going to happen to Wells Fargo for the next trading day, for today's trading day. Today's trading day, the 4th of March. What will happen Thursday's trading day to Wells Fargo? I'm going to give you a few second test, and I'm also seeing a few patterns here that we're going to try and recognize. One of them is there is a trend line, and the way I draw this trend line, I try to touch as many points along the line as possible. I turn on magnet there. I show you how to do this in the Stockroom Master Course also. So that's one trend line, right? Because why we have touches on the line, we have quite a few of them actually, but I'm going to just organize it a little bit better. So why is this a trend line? We have 4 touches. We have touch there, touch there, touch there, actually 5 touches on the trend. So that's one trend line. And then here we have another one. We had this one that it's following up, but it's got like a channel. So it's like going above it, then underneath it, then back above it. It is following this middle trend line. But we can also put a kind of like a base here with a ray, or we can just use this trend line, because it does look like it is climbing this one at the moment. So that's the trend line it seems to be following. So it's kind of like in a little bit of a channel here. It's trying to get back into this channel and follow it up. And if we stretch out that channel, this one we can remove. It's not giving us too much information. And am I seeing any major? I am seeing a slight cup and handle here on the hourly candles. So here, cup, handle, or I would say that's the cup, and then it made a handle here, and it's a bit of a weird cup and handle. Normally cup and handle should be even like this, and that's a very bullish pattern. A cup and handle is a very bullish pattern, and it is slightly making that. There is kind of a cup and a handle forming. The base of the cup is the direction, the distance we would go, but it's a kind of weird cup and handle, so I'm not going to draw that in. The overall trend of Wells Fargo on this time frame is trending up. The trend is your friend. We also have, each time we're making higher lows. Do you see that? We're making higher lows. And we're also kind of making higher highs. So it is climbing. However, recently the RSI and stochastic were overbought and they turned to head down. And it's trying to come down onto this support. It has a very strong support here at the $36 mark. I'm not seeing any major bullish pattern here. Okay, we'll keep this trend line in because it does look like it is trying to climb this trend line now. It's on this trend line. So until this trend line breaks, we respect this one. There, it's climbing up that trend line. But just recently, the RSI and stochastic have turned down to head down. The squeeze mob is green, heading down, but still green. Volume is quite strong in the last few trading days. It does look like it is trying to come down. It has a big support that it can come down to. Here, $36.60, 66 cents. Then the next major support is this point here. Let's turn on MA cross now to see if we get any information. We have the red line crossing over the green line here. So here we had the red line crossing over the green line, and that indicated a move from 33 to 37. Then it was just choppy here, closing, opening, and then recently we had another MA cross here to head up the red line above the green line. But the stochastic and the RSI are coming down now. So for today's trading day, it does look like it's trying to come down first. But it does have a lot of support and the MA cross is open. So more than likely, to me, it looks like it is. There's also a mini little trend that I'm seeing here. I'm going to draw in. There's one here. I'll call it a resistance, not really a trend. It's kind of making a symmetrical triangle. I mean, a ascending wedge. So that's in a resistance. Yes, it's making an ascending wedge. Beautiful. Good thing spotting this. So what is an ascending wedge? I'm going to show you. I would say the ascending wedge is actually the base of it is here on this candle. So the way these work is usually an ascending wedge breaks out to the direction of the trend, which now is currently up, and it breaks out to the base of the trend, which is this line here. That's our target. So we'll turn that one into a blue one, and then we'll clone it. So right now it's following this. So this is the distance. I'll try to move this. Because I cloned it. So this is the ascending wedge that it's trying to move in. And the breakout of that wedge is around March 2000. When is that? 10th of March. There does seem to be a culmination of this. So I'll turn that into a yellow target. So the way we got that is here we have an ascending wedge, right? The pattern that's forming. Ascending wedge. It's a triangle. The base of the wedge is the targets of the breakout. Usually, and the ascending wedge, they go with the direction of the trend. So it's really the direction of this trend is massively trending up at the moment. So this is the direction. So what's happening here is it gets tighter within this ascending wedge. Then usually at the end, it breaks out to the base of the wedge. So that's the targets. And it looks like it is coming down to the lower end of this wedge. So I'll put the target there for today's trading day. It's got a support there. Then it's got another major support here. So today's trading day, it looks like it's about to do something like this. Come down, target 1, $37.19, bounce, come to the top, bounce off, come down, and then try to go up there by March 10th. And that comes out at the same time around that they're announcing the stimulus. So these are the targets for today's trading day and the next few trading days. I will put one there. So what most likely scenario, target 1, it comes down today to this $37.19, just a few cent movement, 50-cent movement, bounces from there, goes up to $38.65, bounces off there, comes down to $37.69, bounces off there, and then breaks out towards $39.78, and then this upper end of this target, which is sitting at $41 here, $41. So those are the targets for Wells Fargo that I'm seeing. This kind of ascending wedge is here. We're going to have this downward movement for today in the morning at open, coming down to $37.19, bouncing from there, climbing up to $38.65, bouncing off there, bouncing, and then heading up to $41.17. So target 1 is $37.19. That will reset the stochastic, the RSI. They can turn to head up. Volume can come in. Then target 2 will be $38.65. And then target 3 will be $39 and $39.78. So those are the targets that I have for Wells Fargo. It looks like to me it's going to come down, bounce off this $37.19, bounce off there, go up, $38.65, bounce off there, come down onto this trend line, and then up to there, and it's forming this ascending wedge. The breakout is the target for Wells Fargo, which is beautiful. Those are the targets. Do we need so many targets here? I would say we can get rid of this 39.78 because it's only $1 difference between 38. We don't need so many little targets there. If it comes down here, Wells Fargo today, and the stochastic and RSI get to here, $37.19, and the stochastic RSI not yet oversold today's trading day, and then it can fall here and come down to this 35.90, and that's a very strong support. Then if it doesn't hold there, the next major support and a good buying opportunity would be actually here at the $35 mark. But to me, it looks like it is going to play out in this this ascending wedge. First target $37.19, bouncing up $38.65, coming down, and then going up. Longer term target $41. So target 1 for today is $37.19. Target 2 is $38.65. This will do something like that, which is beautiful. So those are the targets for Wells Fargo. It does look like it is a recovery play at the moment, that the overall trend of Wells Fargo, especially on the hourly timeframes, is massively trending up. The trend is your friend. Another example of why you need to learn technical analysis, what I teach you, what you're seeing here, and what you learn in Stock Guru Mastercourse in 8 lessons. You can see the link to the course in the description, the pin comment, or www.stockguru.us. Is another buying opportunity would be right here. Actually, I'll give you a 5-second quiz. Somewhere between here and here is a great buying opportunity. And you can see it on the price chart, but I want you to do it based off the technicals. A 5-second question, little quiz. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here. In February, the beginning of February, it was a great buying opportunity for Wells Fargo. Why? You have stochastic oversold turning to head up, squeeze mob going green, RSI below the dotted lines, remember oversold below the dotted lines, turning to head up. So stochastic turning to head up, RSI turning to head up, squeeze mob going green, volume coming in, Wells Fargo sitting on this $30 mark, MA cross right there, all indications of a buy. And why you need to learn technical analysis, all the Wall Street bankers know this. All the 401k fund managers know this. Everyone you're versing, all my students know this. Everyone that's taken the Stock Guru Master Course, so they all know this. So everyone you're versing in the stock market has this information, has this knowledge. And you need it as well, so you'll be able to, it's actually self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's why it's so powerful, technical analysis. It's prophecy, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. What that means is, here's the squeeze mob going green, stochastic oversold, RSI oversold, volume coming in on this support line, MA cross, all these indications of a buy. The Wall Street bankers, 401k managers, and my students know this. So why it becomes self-fulfilling, they see these conditions, so they all put their buy orders there. And because they put their buy orders there, when the price of Wells Fargo comes down, their buy orders then hit, and their buy orders trigger, and you catch a movement from $30 to $37, which is nearly a 20% movement in just 1 month. And you would have known to buy right there based off the technicals. Squeeze mob going green, stochastic oversold, RSI oversold, volume coming in on this support line, MA crossing, all indications of a buy. All the Wall Street bankers, my students, put their buy orders there. The price comes down, their buy orders trigger, self-fulfilling prophecy, and it moves up 20%. And that's why you must take the Stock Guru Master Course in the description, the pin comment, or www.stockguru.us. And if you purchase the course before Tuesday, 8 p.m. New York time, so in the next, today is Thursday, so the next 5 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD, which is beautiful. So let's go now into my Twitter to see if there's any major news for Wells Fargo, and then we're going to look at the financials of Wells Fargo. So now we're in Stock Guru on Twitter. Follow me. My name's James. My key message here is capital preservation and growth. So we're protecting our money at all costs while we're exponentially trying to grow it. My strategy is dollar cost averaging, and rule number 1 by Warren Buffett when it comes to making money in the stock market is don't lose money. Rule number 2 is don't forget rule number 1. So we're growing our capital but we're protecting it at all costs. Stock Guru Master Course you can find here at www.stockguru.us. I'll show you the course. And here is the course that if you purchase in the next 5 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. Greetings from Sweden, one of my students buying a Ferrari following your channel. Chuck, officially without a mortgage. Thank you, James. Stayfly, I've made over 330,000 in the last month following your guidance. Stayfly is now a millionaire. Patrick up 100K. You can just see many reviews there. It's $333 for the Stock Guru Master Course. You're going to learn the best brokers for you in your country, the buttons and settings to press in your brokerage account to buy stocks. You can read everything you're going to learn here, and then scroll down to the bottom, and you can click buy this. It's got 72 5-star reviews. And if you click buy this, you go and then put in your credit card information, It's $333 lifetime access to the course, and it's a video course that you can watch on your phone, your laptop. And I highly recommend purchasing the Stockguru Master Course for your children also, so that way instead of your kids buying alcohol, buying Nike shoes, they want to buy Nike the company. Instead of buying Starbucks coffees, they're going to want to buy Starbucks the company. Instead of drugs, alcohol, they're going to want to invest in the stock market. I have many tens of thousands of students that have taken the course, and many students purchase it for their children also. And then we have also a members chat room, a 24/7 members chat room. You can join that by going to the website chat.stockguru.us. There's 170 members in there, 16 millionaires and 6 multimillionaires. And we're talking and trading and investing during market hours. Very amazing group of people. Here you can just see student reviews of the Stockguru Master Course. Nicole, she was down 90K. Hopefully, then it checked out my technical analyst that you taught me and saved herself 90,000. Now she's up 700,000 the last time I spoke to her. You can just see hundreds and hundreds of reviews from students here. Many people paying off mortgages, paying $2 million houses, buying Ferraris. I made many multimillionaires, many millionaires. My students have made more than $1 billion in the stock market. I'm 17, up 80% since I started watching your videos. You can just read through these amazing reviews from students. There's many of them. I made a video today warning. I highly recommend you watch this. Warning, our tech stock's going to crash. We are at a very important moment. We are at a very important moment today, and you really need to check out that video about why. United States, Biden talking about beating cancer. Here you can just see reviews about the Stockguru Master Course, more students that talking about the course, up 180K in the past 2 months. So you can just read those. Here is the sunset yesterday. It was unbelievable. The colors, wow, no filter. Vanguard added 6.8 million shares of PLTR recently. I will make a video on Palantir today also. But why we use Twitter? Twitter is an amazing tool for tracking your stock. So what you can do, you can follow me by typing Stockguru, and then I'm going to come up, but make sure my name matches. This one here, Stockguru, and then James. Click on me and click follow. And what you can also do is you can type in Wells Fargo. And that way we can see any major news for Wells Fargo, the company. You could type in Tesla, you can type in Google, and the news is sorted by the top. You can also follow the CEOs, you can follow Elon Musk, so you can get news even before news agencies do, which is very powerful. So now we're trying to find any major news for Wells Fargo that's going to affect the stock. If you want an idea how the investment industry itself values the investment industry, Wells Fargo Asset Management, 600 billion just sold for 2 billion. Okay. Trying to find Wells Fargo to sell its asset management business to 2 private equity firms, part of CEO Charlie Scarf's effort to help the bank emerge from 3 years of scandal. So they're selling its asset manager. Jim Cramer on Wells Fargo, in Charlie Scarf we trust sometimes. Okay. Jim Cramer on Bitcoin, Tesla, Wells Fargo, Power stock market. Jerome Powell on the markets live. We're trying to find any major news that's going to affect Wells Fargo. It's a bank. Wells Fargo is selling asset management for 2.1 billion. Wells Fargo sells asset management arm to private equity firm for 2.1 billion. So John Scrump, former CEO of Wells Fargo, responsible for one of the biggest banking scandals in the USA. Pick 2, Niven Freeman, co-founder of Iris, is creating a product that stops John from sanctioning corruption. So we're trying to find any major... Layman Charlie Munger says Robinhood is a dirty way to make money, while he told people to take it easy on his portfolio company Wells Fargo after they fined $3 billion for breaking the law. This was 25th of February. We're trying to find any major news. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's any major news except this big selling of this $2 billion asset management for Wells Fargo. So what we can also do is we can type in WFC, which is the ticker of Wells Fargo, right? The company ticker. And we can see if there's any major news here also. Close to breakout level 15 hours ago. I agree his targets for the breakout are on the technicals. He didn't put targets. His charting is a bit difficult to read. Most active stock options. Top bullish flow today. So this is the bullish flow. Wells Fargo again, the bullish flow. SQ, a lot of orders. Tesla. Earnings growth. So there's no major news for Wells Fargo right now. So make sure you follow me on Twitter and take the Stockguru Master Course. Let's go now into my broker, Charles Schwab, and we're going to look at the financials of Wells Fargo. So now we're in my broker, Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is my recommended broker. It is the biggest brokerage account firm in the world. They are a publicly traded company in the stock market as well. And that's why I really like them, because they are publicly traded. So they are a company owned by the public. If you own one stock in the stock market, don't forget your job description is an investor. And Charles Schwab is a company that you can own if you want. And that's why I like them. They have $7 trillion in assets. They are on the New York stock market. If you're an American, it's very easy to set up a Charles Schwab broker account, especially if you have a bank. You can pretty much do it in one day. If you're international, you do need a minimum of $25,000 to set up an Charles Schwab brokerage account. For Europeans, I do recommend Interactive Brokers. For the best brokers for you in your country, I teach you that in the Stock Guru Master Course. Again, you can see the link to the course in the description, the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us. And if you purchase before Tuesday, 8 p.m. New York time, in the next 4 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. So don't forget that. Wells Fargo & Co., the ticker WFC on New York Stock Exchange, last price $37.69. The bid, what people are willing to pay for Wells Fargo, is $37.49. The ask, what people are willing to sell the stock, $37.59. The overall trend of Wells Fargo was actually trending down on the long-term side of things. It was $66 in January 2018. Its low was $20, and now it's sitting at $37. The overall trend is actually trending down on the long-term side of things. Recently, though, it looks like it's found support at that bottom and started to head up. It's turning. Its trend is turning. Volume predicts price, and here you can see very little volume for Wells Fargo. And then recently, since 2020, huge volume coming in for Wells Fargo. Volume predicts price. The average 10 days has been huge. 39 million shares being traded on average per day for Wells Fargo. So people are really getting interested in this company again. Volume predicts price. Always remember this, volume, a saying that's going to be, we're going to have merchandise that's going to come up. The earnings per share, 39 cents per share. PE ratio is 94 times. So the golden ratio that Warren Buffett taught me is 20 times PE ratio. What is PE ratio? Price, so the price, which is $37 currently for Wells Fargo, the price divided by the earnings per share, 39 cents, equals the PE ratio, 94 times. So what that means, why 20 times is the golden ratio? So 94 times means you're paying a 94-time premium on the price compared to its earnings per share. Golden ratio is 20 times. So why 20 times? It's Warren teaches that if it's 20 times, you're paying a 20-time premium on the earnings per share, on the price, but that indicates that you're buying a company that people are very interested in. 94 times means it's quite overvalued. Above 20 times PE ratio, you want a dollar cost average over a longer period of time. But to put that in perspective, Tesla is around 1,100 times PE ratio. Forward PE is 11 times, so the next year's PE ratio, expected earnings, are going to be much better, and that puts it very nice. 20 times is the golden ratio, so it's actually undervalued, Wells Fargo. Annual dividend yield is 1% dividends, 69% held by institutions. Market cap is $155 billion large cap company, but its enterprise value is actually $421 billion. So it's 300% undervalued compared to its enterprise value, how much assets and money they had. Shares held by institutions, 69%. The news headlines, Wells Fargo, we're trying to find any major news. Stocks on move, Wells Fargo. Stocks on the moves, Wells Fargo. So no major news. It's just saying that it's on the move. So now we have ratings by analysts. We have C rating by Charles Schwab, equity rating, Outperform Credit Research, Ned Davis Neutral, Argus 12 month, which I usually align by. I really like Argus's ratings. My ratings usually match Argus. Is a buy. CFRS 2-star, 3-star. Reuters is a whole. Outperform, Market Edge is a long. So most of the analysts are actually saying buy or go long. Most of the analysts. So now we're going to look at the statements for. We're going to look at the statements for Wells Fargo. And these financial statements, I teach you how to read in the Stock Guru Master Course. And yes, everyone, I understand I'm going very quickly, but you learn how to do this all in your own time, at your own pace in the Stock Guru Master Course in the 8 lessons. And you'll be able to do this in your own time. If you don't want to take the Stock Guru Master Course, I also have a YouTube membership section that you can join. Don't forget, on your phone, you can see the join button. You can, the subscribe button, the bell, and the subscribe button, and thumbs up button. Those buttons on your phone. If you hit the bell, the subscribe button, thumbs up button, you're notified of my daily videos. So it will pop up on your YouTube to be notified of these videos. And on the bell, you need to click the bell and then click all notifications. And there's also a join button there, and that's the YouTube membership section. So you can see an example there. When you click that join button, you join, it's $99 a month. Every time I make a trade in my portfolio, if I buy a stock, if I sell a stock, I put my limit order for my trade, the reasons for my trade, my stop loss, and the targets for my trade in the YouTube membership section. I'm usually buying 1 to 3 stocks per day. and I'm targeting my buys at good technical entries, so I'm usually profitable. I'm trying to enter profitably as soon as I enter my trade. You can join the YouTube membership section there and see my live trades in the market, and many students have made huge gains just following my trades. And I recommend joining the YouTube membership section and the Stockguru Mastercourse together, so that way as you're watching my live trades, you're learning how to do it in the Stockguru Mastercourse at the same time, so you can practice. So $40 billion in sales. These are the total revenues. Where is the total revenues actually? Total income, total interest income. So I would say this is the total revenues. It's based off interest, this company, because it's a bank. So the total revenues was $47 billion in 2016, $49 billion. This is values are in millions. So this is 43,000 million, $43 billion in sales, in interest loans income, 47 billion 2018, 2019 44 billion, 2020 25 billion. So huge drop in loan loss. Most of that drop was because of this loan loss prevention provision. They had a lot of, because people weren't having to pay back their loans during COVID. So in 2020, their revenues almost halved from 44 billion down to 25 billion, which is a huge drop. Now we go down and we're looking at how much. So what we're looking for here is huge. We're looking for four main ticks. We're looking for huge revenues, huge year-on-year revenue growth, huge profit margin, and huge amounts of cash. That's what we're looking for. Revenue growth, year-on-year revenue, large revenues, year-on-year large revenue growth, large profit margins, and large amounts of cash. That's what we're looking for right now. So we had large revenues, 43 billion, 47 billion, 48 billion, 44 billion, and not really, so tick, large revenues. Now 25 billion because of the COVID pandemic, but I'm only expecting that for 1 or 2 year period, but tick, large revenues. Large year-on-year revenue growth, not really. 43 billion, 47 billion, 48 billion, 44 billion, 25 billion. So it's kind of staying up until the COVID pandemic. Pretty much their revenue stayed the same, around 43 billion to 44 billion. So it's got large revenues, tick. Large revenue growth, no. Large profit margins, now we're looking for large profit margins. How much of this $44 billion in revenues do they turn into profits? Let's see. So, and this year, 2020, they had $25 billion. So, what we're looking for is normalized income after tax here. So from that $44 billion in revenues, wow, which is amazing, everyone, amazing. From $44 billion in 2019 in revenues, they kept $20 billion in profits after tax. $20 billion, amazing. Even during the COVID pandemic, they had $25 billion in revenues and they kept $12 billion in income after tax. Amazing. Congratulations, Wells Fargo. So tick, huge revenues, tick, year-on-year revenue growth, not really. Huge profit margins, 50% profit margins. This is absolutely amazing. 50% profit margins is amazing. Big congratulations. Wow. From $44 billion in revenues, they kept $20 billion in income after tax, almost 50% profit margins. Congratulations. And this is consistent each year. Very good work, Wells Fargo. That was amazing. In 2020, they still kept 50% profit margins from 25 billion. Even during this big pandemic, which halved their revenues, they still kept 50% profit margins, $12 billion in profits. Amazing. Good. Congratulations, Wells Fargo. So huge revenues, tick. Year-on-year revenue growth, no. Huge profit margins, tick. 50% is amazing. The other best companies that I've seen, to put in perspective, is Facebook at 30% profit margins, Apple at 30% profit margins. For Wells Fargo at 50% is the highest profit margin company that I've actually seen. Amazing. Congratulations. And the last thing we're looking for Wells Fargo is large amounts of cash. So now we're looking to see if Wells Fargo has a lot of cash. And that's the last thing that we need to tick. So we go to the cash flow statements. Again, in the Stockguru Masterclass, in the description, the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us, I teach you how to read all these financial statements in your own time. And again, if you purchase the course before Tuesday, 8 p.m. New York time, in the next 5 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. I'm going to pick the winner live on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. New York time. We go live in the Eagle's Nest. So net changing, how much cash does Wells Fargo have? Go down here, net change in cash. I teach you how to read these income statements, these cash flow statements. Net change in cash, end balance for free to use, $264 billion in cash. Wells Fargo has $264 billion in cash. This is the largest cash pile I've ever seen for a company. $264 billion in cash. And it's consistent. They had $221 billion in 2016, $215 billion cash 2017, $141 in 2019 billion in cash, and in 2020, $264 billion in cash, up $123 billion that year during COVID. Huge. It is a bank, but that's amazing, unbelievable amounts of cash. So tick. Huge revenues, tick, year-on-year revenue growth, no, huge profit margins, tick 50%, amazing, and huge, the largest cash pile I've ever seen, $264 billion in cash. Congratulations, Wells Fargo, on the financials. Let's go into a summary now of Wells Fargo. So in summary, on the technicals, Wells Fargo is trending up on the major timeframes. It's found support on that major trend line and is starting to head up. All technical indicators are showing Wells Fargo is trying to make a recovery on the COVID. It's already up nearly 100% since the bottom at $20. Technical now is showing massive imminent movements up and a buy for Wells Fargo. Big congratulations if you followed my videos. Even I've been covering Wells Fargo for about 9 months. And we were buying Wells Fargo at $20. So big congratulations, everyone that bought Wells Fargo. You're already up 100%, but it does look like on the technical, it is still massively trending up. And those targets that I put in are in play. On the fundamental side of things, Wells Fargo, I do rate it an amazing buy. We have huge revenues, huge revenues, tick. Year-on-year revenue growth, no, it was hurt during COVID pandemic. Huge profit margins, 50% profit margins, unbelievable amounts of profit. 50% profit margins is very, very high profit margins, huge. And they're making really large amounts of money. $12 billion in profits for this year, 2020, during COVID, which is amazing during COVID to still make $12 billion in profits. And in 2019, before COVID, they made $40 billion in profits, which is amazing. Well, $25 billion on $44 billion in sales. 50% profit margins, amazing. Huge amounts of cash. They have almost close to $300 billion in cash. I do rate Wells Fargo a buy, and it is a buy. I am currently holding a lot of Wells Fargo, and I have been buying from that $20 mark that I've been showing on the videos. So I hope you like this technical and fundamental analysis on Wells Fargo. I hope you learned a lot here. I do rate Wells Fargo a buy. Everything you've seen here, you learn how to do in the Stock Guru Mastercourse. Again, you can see the link in the description, the pinned comment, or www.stockguru.us. And on Tuesday at 8 p.m. New York time, I announce the winner. If you purchase the course in the next 4 or 5 days, you go in the chance to win 1,000 USD. I announce the winner at 8 p.m. New York time, Tuesdays. Which will be amazing. I'm going to announce the winner live. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned a lot. Also, while you take the Stock Guru Mastercourse, www.stockguru.us, don't forget you can follow my live trades in the YouTube membership section. The join button is there. You'll see my live trades, my limit orders, my targets for the trade, the reasons for my trade, and my stop loss as I make them in my portfolio. I'm trading 1 to 3 stocks per day, and I'm usually buying at good technical entries to profit straight away. So while you follow my live trades, you can take the Stock Guru Mastercourse and you can practice as you learn. So this is James from Stock Guru. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful trading day. I hope you learned a lot. I am expecting a tech sell-off. You need to check out that video that I made. Is the tech sector selling off? The one that was today. And I am seeing that the money is moving from the tech sector to these COVID recovery plays. That's why diversification, as I teach you in the Stock Guru Mastercourse, is important. So I hope you have a beautiful, relaxing day. This is James from Stock Guru. I hope you learned a lot. Don't forget today to check out the video on Tesla. I'm going to make a technical video on Tesla, on NIO today, and on Apple today, the technicals. So this is James from Stock Guru. Have a beautiful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.